How's it going? Subscribers only. 1 minute. All right. Good to go. Let me get my chat pulled because I'm doing the front cam today. Change it up a little bit. All right. Let's get our fresh milk sorted here. They did not have my Fairlife today, guys. I've been very upset about that today. All right, sorry, give me a second, guys. My computer decided it wanted to give me a bunch of instructions. All right. I can't see chat at the moment. Oh, there's good milk. Mm-hmm. All right. Make sure we're all set up. I'm going to be able to talk to you guys here in about 30 seconds. Live. Nice. All right, we're in it. We're in it to win it. Let's get it in. Let's get it in. What's up, Saray? How you doing? Happy Saturday. Happy Saturday. All right. I personally, for dinner, had chicken tonight. I had chicken and brown rice. Chicken and brown rice was my go-to tonight. Chicken's always going to be a top tier play in my household. Chicken and beef. A lot of chicken and beef. Everything in my household, other than the once in a while we do ground turkey, is all chicken and beef. So it's rare that I stray from those primary proteins. Chicken, beef, never actually. Chicken, beef, turkey, and then dairy are big focuses in my household. All right, let's stack another plate, guys. Alrighty. No, we made it all the way through, Saray. What's up, cowboy? How's it going? Chicken fajitas top tier. All right, we got 225. We're gonna keep warming up. I do have a surprise during this stream, but we're not gonna talk about that yet. We'll talk about that later. I've got a surprise that's gonna happen during this stream specifically. This isn't a future surprise. It's a today surprise. But we're gonna wait probably. We'll get a couple more bench sets in, then I'll do the surprise. It's not like a huge thing. It's just something I thought would be fun. So, but I'm not gonna tell you what it is yet. Soreness in the triceps is gone. Still a little sore right here in the front of my shoulder. I don't know what that's from, but nothing like absolutely terrible or nothing. Just a little bit of soreness, nothing major. So you're gonna get a similar result, sure, from dumbbell rows. Dumbbell rows are a great row, but if you hurt your low back, you may want to be careful with any type of rowing, especially ones that aren't supported by something. Might want to let that heal a little bit. Low back isn't one you want to play with. All right, let's have some weight. Pull-ups. If it was me, if I had a back strain personally, I wouldn't be too against doing pull-ups in my own program. But I don't see why pull-ups would be an issue. But there is still potential. I'd have to know exactly what kind of like injury you actually have in your back to give recommendations. But I would do pull-ups if I had a sore back, personally. Or maybe even just some hangs to try and help, stretch everything out, promote some blood flow, things like that. Or if you have like maybe an inversion table, those can be helpful. But, all right, we got three plates of side on right now. So we're gonna grab a hold of this, and hit a set of one. We'll do 1 rep here, and we'll climb. Saturday, so this is gonna be the least peak day for the week, obviously, being that this is bench session number 6. How's it going? All right, let's grab it. All right, after this 315, all right, give me a second. Let's hit this 315. Yep. All right. 315 moving buttery. Obviously. I mean, no doubt that was going to move just fine. So. Oh. Let me set up some chat functions here real quick, and then we'll move on to the next set. What's up, Jake? All right, pin that. Not me, Knight. I can tell you I'm not the one doing cardio for sure. What's up, Alex? Waking up from a nap. Naps are top tier. So abs are a combination of things, Eagles. A lot of the time abs, there's of course core development you have to do, so you have to develop core strength, right? I had chicken and brown rice tonight for dinner. A little bit of hot sauce. Hey, I appreciate it. That's awesome. Those are pretty cool. The new gifts, those are awesome. Those are cool. So that's awesome. Appreciate all the gifts. All right. Can always count on Jay to be a big support. All right. So what was I talking about? So abs. You can build abdominal structure and try and get those abs to show more, but there is a certain point when it comes primarily about body fat. Now, even if you're not like overweight, right? There is still the potential to be carrying more body fat by percentage based on how much muscle you're carrying. So it's a combination, as always. If you don't have a well-developed core, you can work with some weighted core movements, help build that abdominal up. Even some non-weighted core movements can be helpful, but your compound lifts are also going to be building that. And then you've got to look at, okay, if I'm still not seeing what I want, then I might need to reduce my body fat a little bit, eat a lean diet. Those are going to be your keys. All right, let me add some weight to this bar real quick. Performance enhancing sandbags. I've still never seen a performance enhancing sandbag. So add some weight to this bar. Tie my shoe as well. The last thing I need to do on stream is trip. All right. While I imagine it would be hilarious for everybody watching, it would not be the greatest moment for me. So. I did say that I wore something today. I'm gonna show you guys what it is. Give me just a second to do a quick outfit change, like Superman style, quick outfit change. Hold on, guys. I think you guys are gonna be surprised. I told you guys I was gonna wear it at some point, and I never did on stream. Now I've done it for other purposes, obviously, but I've never worn it on stream. I think you guys are gonna think this is great. And I said I had a surprise for the stream, but obviously I don't wear this just around town, so I didn't show up in this, but I should though. I should wear this around town. It is a top tier item. Top tier item. Make sure we're all adjusted up here. All right. So we did go ahead and wear the powerlifting singlet tonight. What do you guys think? This is my competition singlet. How's it going? I've never worn it on stream outside of the actual competitions. So this is what I wear in comp. Well, mostly. It's a different t-shirt, but sometimes even no t-shirt. On a Saturday, maybe, Michael. Like I said, we slowed down the weight gain, so we're going to be taking more time between PR attempts. But, all right, let's grab this. We got 325 on here. We got 325 on here. There. It looks like I'm ready to hit a PR. Oh, that didn't feel bad, though. It didn't feel bad. Well, while I'm maintaining body weight, there'll be usually a week or two between PR attempts instead of twice or 3 times a week, which is more akin to what I was doing prior to streaming as well, because we weren't bulking prior to streaming really. It was a slow bulk. But we did more PR attempts during the bulk, obviously. So when we're maintaining body weight, we slow that down just a tad. Just a tad. Performance enhancing elbow joints. Yeah, 100%. 100%. It is not a Speedo, first thing. All right, this is a singlet. This is a singlet. Appreciate it, Doug. To answer your question, Simon, I'm 30 years old, and yes, you can still increase your numbers, 100%, naturally. This is my powerlifting singlet. This is my powerlifting singlet. This is competition attire. This is required in competition. Thank you very much. We're not competing tonight, obviously, but I'm sure I'm sure I'm gonna get tons of great comments about the singlet though. All right, let's grab it. Ugh. Let's go. Ah, felt good. Felt good. I'm going to tell you, so no, so I've avoided most injuries and like acute, like non-acute shoulder issues as well. My bench press, I use a close grip naturally, so. It's helped me avoid a lot of the shoulder problems that come with your bench work. Superhero fit. Like I said, Clark Kent style outfit change midstream. All right, let's add. What was that? That was 315. 35, that was 35. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Appreciate it, Jay. What's up, NC? That's awesome. That's awesome, Jay. I think that's actually one of the best features they've added, in my opinion, is those emojis. I think they're really cool. All right. Hold on one second. All right. So I'm pulling something up. I'm sorry, guys. Hold on. All right, fixed. What's up, Eric? All right, let's hit it. Let's hit it. Hey, I appreciate it, NC. That's awesome. Those are cool. That's cool. All right, let's add, we just added weight. We got 315, 325, 35, 45. We're gonna hit 345 real quick, and then we'll move on to the next one. We'll move on to the next one. I'm doing well. How you doing? How you doing? All right. Depends on your federation. In my federation, yes. In my federation, they do test, yes. I'm a natural power lifter, so in the federation I compete in, we are tested. Which I preference. I preference testing, obviously, being natural. So, right. I've got our live subscriber count up too. We're at 4163. Wonder if we can hit like 4,300 tonight. You guys think we can hit 4,300 subscribers tonight? We're close. We're close. The bar to entry to get into powerlifting is not super high. So let me grab this and then we'll move on to the next. We'll move on to the next lift. We'll talk some more. All right. Ah, 345, 345. Woo-wee! Let's go. You've already sucked 3 times. I appreciate it, Alex. How much do I weigh? How tall am I? How old am I? Okay, so those 3 stats. I am currently 177, 178. We're currently keeping that weight until after August 16th, and then we'll start bulking again. That's my current weight class. That's pounds, 177 pounds. I'm 5'11", I'm 30 years old. All right. Alrighty. Let me grab some more weight, guys. $177 kilo. Yeah, it's actually stone. Yeah, I see the little emojis that pop up. Not every single one of them. I do see some of them though, Jay. They go away after a second. I appreciate it, Jay. The gifts are awesome. I appreciate the donation, NC. It's super helpful, actually. That gets us a whole Fairlife. That's a whole Fairlife right there. Once the store restocks them, look what I ended up with tonight. Did I in the Discord? I can check. I haven't been in the Discord a lot today. I'm gonna be honest. I'll take a look at it here in a second, Jay. I haven't been in the Discord a lot today. All right, let me grab a couple sips of this milk, guys. Ugh. All right. We have a 315. I'll take a look at it here in a minute, Jay. I will 100%. Right after we get, I get a free second, I'm gonna take a look at it. 25, 35, 45, 350 is what's on the bar right now. We're gonna hit this 350. So. We're gonna hit this 350 for a quick single. I do buy a lot of Fairlife, but they were all out of the whole milk Fairlife today. So they were all out of the whole milk Fairlife today. Woo! 350 moving. 350 moving. I appreciate that, Jay. That was a weird comment, I'm gonna be honest. I don't know what he's talking about. I honestly have no idea what he's talking about. Not for 350. We do 350 is fine. 350 is fine. Every time I lift something heavy, people subscribe. That's top tier. It's top tier. No. Fairlife is not inexpensive. You are correct. I have done my Fairlife budget. Unfortunately, I have accounted for it in my budgeting. I don't actually I don't budget like typically you would budget. I just know exactly what I spend on Fairlife, unfortunately. But we'll do the math again. We've done it a few times. Well, we've done math a few times on this. Hold on. So, for those of you that wonder where almost all of the stream revenue goes, this is how much Fairlife costs me on a monthly basis. Okay, maybe not all of this. Pretty much the entire stream revenue. So realistically, though, in all honesty, about 100 and $150 to $170 a month just in Fairlife milk alone is what I spent. It was saying even 155. Like I spent about $155 a month on just Fairlife milk for my workouts. So per year, I spend almost $2,000 a year on Fairlife. Holy crap! Oh, Fairlife, hear me out. I need that sponsorship. I need that sponsorship. I have chickens, but they don't produce milk. And if you have chickens that produce milk, you need to get new chickens. We're gonna do a drop set. We're not gonna go any heavier than that tonight. Just 350 as the peak lift for the night. Next week, of course, we're still gonna be doing weekly PR attempts. But we're not gonna be doing them twice or 3 times a week probably. While we're maintaining weight, it's just not a smart play. So we're gonna do once a week PR attempts on Wednesday as normal. Yeah, so mind you guys, that's just my Fairlife. That doesn't include the regular whole milk I buy. So like, my household goes through an additional gallon of milk a day. So on average, we go through a gallon of standard whole milk, and then of course my Fairlife. So my dairy budget is quite high. It is legitimately like enough to be considered a bill. Because what is it, like an average gallon of milk here is $2.99. So like $250 a month on just milk, not including any other dairy products, which are normal in my budget, but about $250 a month on milk. So, but mind you, I have a large family. I've got 3 children and a wife. So it ain't $5 where I'm at. We get it for $2.99 right here. 365 is my bench PR, close grip. All my bench is close grip. We're not going to talk about cheese. Look, if we start adding in like cheese and stuff to the equation, we're gonna be here a long time. Very close grip. I mean, it's not like my hands aren't touching, but this is my normal grip, is like the knurling. Maybe a little bit of thumb, but about like here, approximately, give or take. That's how I bench in competition as well. This is my bench position in competition, is right here. This is what you'll see on my competitive bench. So here's your rings that a lot of people put their ring finger. This is your standard grip. Per competition standard, usually you're about here or here, right? Usually, some have a rule that you can only go ring finger out, right? Or even some of them force pinky. I've seen that once. But right about here is my grip, which is well inside ring. Set of 15. Oh yeah, the plate sounds the best, right? Ugh, them real plates right there. Do I follow a bench program? I mean, I have one that I offer, yes. I have a bench program that I offer. You'd have to be in my Discord though. It's posted in my Discord. All right. What about shoulder? Shoulder press, Eric? We will probably do some shoulder press. We're gonna do shoulder press. I don't know what kind we're gonna do yet. How do you bench 3 plates? So don't spam, please. So you load 3 plates up on each side, right? And then you lower it to your chest, and then press really hard in the opposite direction. Jerry's great. Jerry's great, Michael. No, realistically, it's just about building it up. I don't know where you're at and what you're used to, so I can't tell you. I can't tell you with that amount of information. What's up, Worldwide? How you doing? Dairy is a top tier beverage. Dairy is a top tier beverage. Please stop spamming with the question. I answered the question to the best of my ability right at the moment. So, all right, let's grab it. I do 6 bench sessions a week. I do 6 bench sessions a week. If you subscribe to the channel, Rakesh, I'll post it on the community post later, and you can take a look at the bench program. Just subscribe. I'll do a post later, and you'll be able to sign up for the bench program. I can't do it while I'm streaming, though. All right, let's grab this. I honestly have no idea how many reps a week it is. I have no idea how many reps a week it is. A lot. A lot is the only answer for that, because it varies. My personal rep count varies pretty dramatically throughout the week. Hey, we just hit 4170 on subscribers. I think we can hit 4200 at least tonight. What's up, D1? Squat barefoot. So the only thing I would say about squatting barefoot is, number one, it's never a good idea to be barefoot in a gym. The other part to that, right, just general safety. But the other part to that is, honestly, I've seen how gym floors are kept. Probably don't want to have your bare feet on that. I'm gonna be honest. So I recommend at least wearing socks if you're not worried about busting your toes. If that's not a concern for you, at least wear socks. But squatting in socks is also dangerous. So there's that problem, because you could slip, and you slip with a squat and you're gonna have a really bad day. I wouldn't do it. I would always wear shoes. So. All right, let's grab this. We got one more rep here on 315, and then we're gonna move on to the next movement, which is some form of curl. I don't know what curl we're doing yet, but we're doing a curl, some type of curling. I don't know what curling we're doing yet. All right, let's grab this. Ugh. Yeah. Let's go. What, you're talking about the bench press manual? It's 315. 315. I kind of feel like I want to do a few more reps, guys. The bench just feels too good. What's up, Jim? I mean, it is Saturday. We could do a few more reps. You know what I'm saying? That's an interesting question. What does 315 feel like in my hands? That is I've never been asked it that way. So I will say that 315 has gotten to the point. I mean, it's always going to feel like 315. It's just, what does 315 feel like to each person? I would imagine 315 to me probably feels very similar to like most people. I don't want to speculate because there's people that 315 feels like feathers, you know. I could do 315 for singles for multiple hours and be fine, I imagine. Or I could, do doubles and triples for an hour or whatever with small rests and be fine. 315 isn't a significant load for me at this point on the bench. It's not super light, but it's not heavy. Yeah. So at this point, 315, I would consider a warm-up lift as far as how it feels. I would be comfortable doing 315 without any other warm-up movements. Like, I don't have to do other warm-up sets to do 315 for a single and risk, like, I wouldn't be worried about risking an injury. But it's still, 315 is always going to be 315, so. But it has gotten to the point where 315, we haven't gone for a PR in just a minute. We're going to be going for one next week on Wednesday. We're doing one PR attempt a week now, gymnastics. We had to maintain our weight class through August 16th. So August 16th, we'll start bulking actively again. So that's when we'll start doing multiple PR attempts a week again. In the meantime, we're going to be slow rolling the PRs, but we're going to have a good time regardless. Yeah, we're going to have a good time on the 16th. All right, let's grab this. Let's do a quick double on the bench. Let's do a quick double with the 315, and then we'll move on. So at 255, I would imagine what 185 feels like for you. I imagine that's probably close to what 315 feels like for me. That's probably a good guesstimate of the feeling. Oh. I have seen that stuff, Jim. I have. You are correct, David. Things do feel lighter over time. Like 225 at this point feels like 135 felt, a year or 2-3 years ago. So everything feels lighter, but it still is what it is, So I weigh 177-ish at the moment, give or take a pound. I do not wrestle, no. I do not wrestle. Powerlifting. This is my powerlifting attire. This is pretty much my powerlifting attire when I go to competition. The only difference when I go to competition, I have long green socks that come up to about the knee. And that's for deadlifting specific. I wear them through the entire meet because I don't feel like changing my socks. There's not really a reason to. Some people wear knee sleeves and they don't wear the long socks until they're ready for deadlift because they wear knee sleeves, but I don't do knee sleeves in competition. But other than the long green socks and different t-shirt, this is my lifting attire for competition. The t-shirt that I wear just depends on the sponsor. So I usually have the sponsor's name right here. So the gym right now is my sponsor for my next meet. So I have their name here, but this is actually the USA Powerlifting shirt under this at the moment. 177 is my body weight at the moment, give or take a pound. All right. Gotta wear the helmet, David. Gotta wear the helmet. All right. I was not raised on a farm, no. I am very good at push-ups, yes. I don't know my max. I know we did a 60-second push-up, like a push-up video at one point. It was 60 seconds, and I was able to get, I think, 60. So I was able to get, I think it might have been more than 60. It might have been like 60 to 65 in 60 seconds. That's the most I've done in 60. We did a stream where we took rest, obviously, but we were able to get, I think it was 2,000 push-ups done in like an hour and a half, 2 hours. So. I don't know wisdom, honestly. I started working out 5 years ago, and my bench was 75 pounds 5 years ago. So that's the time frame. My bench is currently 365. So from 75 pounds to 365 pounds in 5 years, natural. So. Yeah, it's been a fun time. It's been a fun time. 365 is my current bench PR, yes. What's up, Coco? Appreciate it, Martin. How you doing, Martin? All right, let's grab this. One more rep at 315 to do tonight. I think, yeah, one more rep. We're gonna do curls here in a second. We're gonna hit one more rep at 315 first, because this should be rep number 7. So 7 singles. This is my powerlifting singlet. Nice, Michael, nice. It's good work, it's good work. 315 overhead press is solid. If you have a video, I'd love to see it. But I'll take your word for it. 315 is a really heavy overhead press. It's world class, world class. Yes, you have to wear this in powerlifting meets. This is standard attire. Now, it doesn't have to be this brand. Inzer's like a big brand in powerlifting. This is like the big like household name. Everybody knows Inzer. But well, he said he lied. He said he lied, David. I give everybody benefit of the doubt, though. I give everybody benefit of the doubt, you know? You do have to wear the suit if you're doing bench only as well, yes. It's mostly so they can monitor what you're, like, certain things. So this is obviously a very revealing outfit, unfortunately, right? So they're able to see all of the contact points a little bit better. And also, you can make sure you're not wearing additional helping agents under baggy shirts and baggy pants and stuff like that. It also keeps the meat looking uniform, you know? All right, let's get set up for curls. Hold on 1 second, guys. All right, let's get set up for curls. I'll bring the curl bar here. Actually, I have some extra ones over here. Hold on. We'll use this one. I don't know if I like this one. It's like this bolt is old, and it's not going in, it's not coming out, but it's very loose. I'm gonna go grab the other one. Hold on. Oh, you know what, guys? We'll do cables tonight. I forgot we did easy bar last night, guys. We did easy bar last night. We'll do cable tonight. We'll do cable tonight. Here I am. We're doing cable tonight. I had to flip the camera though, guys, so we're now backwards. All right. All right, where is my handle? There it is. $365 is my bench PR. Here we go. Nice little bicep warm up. I'm gonna grab my laptop. While we recover from that set. Hold on. All right, I got my laptop. I don't want to miss out on the chat. There we go. You guys like my laptop stand? Nice little chair. All right. Yeah. We tend to curl fast, yes. So what is the powerlifting meets like? Why? I just plugged you in, laptop. I'm not worried about it. I just need to hit it. I think it fell asleep. All right. What are the powerlifting meets like? So are they competitive? Yes, obviously. Anything powerlifting people are hyper competitive about. But prize money varies. So there are meets that do have prize money, but most of your money from powerlifting meets comes from sponsors. So, but yes, they are super nice, competitive and super nice. Those go hand in hand. You do have to pay to compete at most of these competitions. There are some invitational competitions that you can get into without paying, but generally, you're going to be paying to be at meet. That is typical. I do have a genetic predisposition for strength, sure. But I would say that you wouldn't have probably had the same opinion 5 years ago. I was 117 pounds 5 years ago with a 75-pound bench. Yeah, it's a good time. How much do I pay? It depends on the meet. The least I've paid to go to a meet is 100 and some change, like $100. The most I've ever paid to go to a meet was like 300. It just depends on the meet. Now that's just meat costs and like membership costs and stuff like that. If you're going to stay in a hotel, obviously you're going to pay more. But luckily, most of my meets are very central around the area I live because I live close to the capital of South Carolina. So most of the meets are close enough by that I can travel in the morning to them. So I just have to get up early. My next meet's on August 16th. That would be competitive in smaller like local comps, yeah, for sure. 1.5 times bench is a solid bench for small meets. Yeah, so meets are almost always organized by some federation, but you can find meets that are non like official. You can go, there's people host local meets like gyms and stuff that aren't official meets. But they won't be recognized on like open powerlifting and stuff. So, or for record purposes or. I am going to do one more set, Martin, but it's a set. I'm not doing a single, and I'm really not doing a single rep. After the way you said it, there's no reason to say it that way. But we are doing one more set regardless, but that was already predetermined. That's why I haven't walked away from it yet. All right. Yep. All right, guys, we're gonna do we're gonna go ahead and hit let's do triceps before shoulders tonight. We'll do triceps real quick because those are gonna be pretty quick. And I don't have to move from where I'm currently standing. I don't want to move my laptop around. But we're gonna do triceps and then we're gonna hit rows and then shoulders. Mix it up just a little bit. This is a powerlifting singlet. Powerlifting singlet. Just the way you said it. Just the way you said it, all right? I've never done wrestling. Wrestling is a sport I never participated in. No, I didn't do the Georgia Raw Nationals, no. Pretty much all of my meets have been in South Carolina for the most part. There is a bench nationals that goes in Georgia every year that I plan on attending this year coming up. So. Yeah, so David, I have a mixed opinion on that of why. Essentially, I think it's the organizers that are the problem when it comes to the lack of viewership with powerlifting meets. So I have never watched or seen I've watched powerlifting meets, obviously. I've seen powerlifting meets, I've been part of powerlifting meets, but I've never seen one that was actually like well put together as far as the digital end, right? There's always like a photographer after the fact that like takes pictures throughout the meet. And there's usually a couple cameras. Beyond that, nothing. Like there's no person speaking to the audience as far as like in the live streams or the video recordings. And those live streams aren't well advertised. So what we end up with is we have some decent crowd sizes, like in-person crowd sizes from the locals. I've seen crowds, 100, 150 people, sometimes more, sometimes less. Local meets a lot less, right? And then the nationals can be a lot more. Crowds, like in-person crowds, can be pretty good. Like I've seen local meets with 100 plus people in the crowd, which is big for a local meet if you're not familiar, because there's not a lot of space in a gym, obviously. But the issue is that they do not know how to set up a stream or set up any kind of platform to show
to keep people entertained watching, because it's just walk up, squat, next person, walk up, squat, next person. Very little information given to the people watching, no kind of way to hype it up. It's very, very... Powerlifting could be a fun sport to watch if they're just better at it, right? They were just better at making it fun, you know? Like, look at bodybuilding. Bodybuilding is very similar in the style of watch, right? It's like very short spurts of actually stuff happening, but people watch bodybuilding a lot more. These bodybuilding get a lot more viewership. They have more money attached to them. That's because the people that organize bodybuilding comps have been doing it long enough and are smart enough about it to do it properly. Powerlifting organizers, I'm not saying all of them, but a lot of powerlifting federations seem to have nobody that knows how to run a computer, let alone a live stream. So if they hired like a social media manager for these federations, they could have huge audiences and have enough money that these local meets could pay, you know? And that's another part, is you don't have people take it as far as they could because they're not getting paid to do it. It's a labor of love, right? But I'm gonna tell you right now, you have some local meets even paying like $100 prize, $150 prize, something like that. You'd have a lot more people showing up and putting a lot more effort forward just because, you know, just because of that small amount. But, you know, who am I to tell them, you know? Yeah, they do a good job live streaming it. And they have stuff in between the athletes to like keep it interesting. You know, people talking about stuff. Like, look at football. Football is what? You know, 5 seconds of play. We're gonna do one more set here. Football's like 5 seconds of play every 10 minutes, right? But people watch it, like hundreds of thousands, millions of people watch it on a daily basis, right? Football. But why are they able to have, you know, 10 seconds of play every 10 minutes and get the attention? Because in between, they have people talking to the crowd, what's going on, what to expect, what happened the last play. This is the breakdown, this is what's going on, right? That's a very simple solution. Make it interesting, you know, make it interesting. August 16th. We just need we need an announcer. We need someone to be like, hey, and such is coming to the platform. His last meet was at this date. You know, this is what he hit on the squat last meet. This is what we can expect out of him this meet potentially. What do you guys think? And then they have like a panel discussion. And there is enough people getting paid to organize these meets that it can happen, right? I've seen as many as like 10 plus staff that aren't volunteered at some of these meets. And you have like 4 people just standing by the award table the entire time. And it's like, come on. Let's do a thing. It's 8 hours, right? I love powerlifting. I'm not saying anything's bad about the actual sport of powerlifting, but the people that organize it are not doing what they should to grow the sport. So some of them do. A lot of them do actually, David. There is paid employees for these. Some, I guess it depends on the federation. Let me specify. Some federations is all volunteers. You are correct. But there are federations that have paid officials that go to them. So, and they have the same problem. But the thing is that they'd rather pay this money out than to the staff than invest it back into the sport, right? So, but I love powerlifting. I love performing in powerlifting. But there's a lot to be said that for the growth of the sport. We're going to struggle with the growth of the sport. So we're going to struggle with the growth of the sport until they work on that. All right, we're going to do shoulders, guys. We're going to do seated shoulders today. So that is a powerlifting onesie, actually. You get the sport correct. But so David, I'll say that the best example of what I'm trying to say needs to happen is look at the sport of strongman. Obviously, strongman has interesting lifts, right? And they have an advantage there. They're very fun to watch lifts, lifting cars and all that fun stuff, right? Atlas stones. But notice how they organize their meet, right? They always have something going on. Always have something going on. And they have like interviews with people during the meets. Strongman didn't used to be what it is now. The people involved in strongman made it what it is today. They improved strongman. So from a marketing standpoint. And I'm going to tell you right now, it was the athletes primarily that did that. The athletes that did that. Yeah, I appreciate the likes. Appreciate the help, Mark. Yeah, like athletes like Eddie Hall, you know. Thor, you know, all these great athletes with big social media followings grew their following, and in turn, through their personality, they were able to bring the most out of these meets. And strongman grew. And now you have, you know, strongman's a massive sport as compared to what it was, you know, 10 years ago even. It wasn't tiny, but it wasn't as big as it is. $100%. Yeah, so when it comes to powerlifting, you have to grow an audience on your own. If you want to be someone that powerlifts professionally, like gets paid to participate in powerlifting, you're kind of on your own when it comes to getting paid. Like you have to grow your own natural following, right? So. Because even like the state championship, the live stream was like, it was bare bones. And state championship is a big deal for powerlifters, you know? It's the first step moving to nationals. But it was a bare bones stream. Is that what do you mean, Eric? I don't understand. All right, let's get it here. This is what I wear to competition. I had always talked about wearing the singlet so you guys could see what the competition attire looks like outside of competition. That's why we're wearing the singlet, so you guys can see what I look like when I'm in peak form. This has been my singlet for a while. It's starting to get a little bit to the point where I might need to consider going up in a singlet size. Probably after the 16th when we start bulking again, I'm going to have to buy a bigger singlet. We're about maxing out the singlet now. About maxing out this singlet now. All right, quick triple. Yeah! Let's go! Woo-wee! All right. I have generally pretty large shoulders, very large shoulders. They are one of my favorite muscles, right behind pectoral. August 16th. August 16th is meet day. If you're interested in the physique, what the physique looks like without the singlet, I have a physique shoot up. If you guys really want to see the shoulders, that's the best place to go. You had to go to my shorts. I did it about 3 days ago. It's one of my recent shorts. You can see the full physique shoot. It's a pretty short video, but it gives you a good idea of what I look like at the moment as far as like body fat percentage and stuff like that. So, which is low, by the way. Negative percentile, all right? I have negative 3% body fat. Negative 3% body fat. Hold on, boom, boom. I'm just adjusting. All right, there we go. All better. Did he stop making videos? I've seen his stuff before. I didn't know he stopped making videos recently. Hopefully he didn't get hurt. I will say, it would be difficult for him to get hurt, to be fair. As many belts and wraps as he wears, I would be surprised if anything is mobile enough to be injured. Dude seems like a good dude from the videos I've seen and the people he's worked out with, but I will say some of his lifting throws me off. All right. All right, we got an amount of weight on here. I don't even know what I put on here, to be honest. I added more weight, more gravity on the bar. Let's go. Let's count the weight now that we did it. 135, 85, 95, 205, 210, 215. 220, we're 225. We'll go 225. All right. Can I overhead press? What's that? Overhead press what? Ain't no, put a peanut there. You go, David. This overhead press is 225. This is 225 current. The most we've done seated, I think, is 240. The most we've done standing is 245. We haven't really tried to go past that, to be fair. So that is approximately the PR. So. All right, let's get it. Woo! Yep. Woo. 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 Let's go. 225. Let's go. Yep. Yep. Woo! Let's go. Felt good. Felt good. We don't have a lunk alarm here. If we did, I would do my best to set it off every day. If we did have one, I would try and set it off daily. We're going to do legs tonight for sure. All right. Boom. 90, 95, 100. We're going to do some dumbbell rows, guys. We're going to do some dumbbell rows. Yep. Bah. The kind that work. That's the kind of row that works. Welcome to the stream. That's a very standard rowing position. That's not an abnormal row. No, I'm good. I'm good. I don't need advice. I promise. Promise. Not looking for advice. Not looking for advice. It's a very standard row. I'm not going to explain the basics. So I'm doing A-okay, I promise. Promise. I curl your bench most likely, so let's just leave it at that. Yeah, I don't have to worry about all that mess, Alex. Yeah, it was. It was a warm-up row. Yeah. Yeah. I'm doing just fine, I promise. Currently, 177 pounds wise, and my bench is 365, so about double body weight bench. I think I'm doing okay. I think I'm doing A-okay. Several first place finishes for powerlifting. like 7 of them or something like that. 6, 7, 5, 6, 7, somewhere in that ballpark. Yeah. Yeah, it's every single one, every single one. None of them ever have a recording of it, though. None of them ever have proof. That's the whole point, is moving weight. The whole point. Moving weight builds muscle first. But I'm a power lifter. It's all about weight moved. It's about strength. If you want to see what the physique looks like with the powerlifting under proper lighting, I have a physique shoot. If you're bodybuilding, you can go check my physique shoot. But outside of that, it's all powerlifting. So, but even for that, I have a very lean body fat percentage. So, I do this professionally. Yes. Knee pop a little bit. PR, the dumbbell row, they only go up to 100, which is kind of light. I would say that's a good range. I would say 8 to 10 is a closer range. But we'll probably be, by competition, we'll be probably somewhere around 7%. Since we're not bulking at the moment. We stopped the bulk like 2-3 weeks ago to get ready for competition. So we're gonna obviously lean out a little bit between now and then. So we'll be at about 7% walking into competition, most likely. Congratulations to them. I'm powerlifting. Lift heavy weight, more plate. And natural, of course. I'm also natural, so that does make a difference. Yeah, so I've gotten on those scales a few times. I have a photo from one of them that I was at like 5.6 or something like that at 1% body fat. That's the lowest I've ever measured that I have proof of. But I know I was in the 4.5 to 4.7% at my lowest that I've seen on a measurement. Now, was I lower when I was getting surgery and stuff? Yes, I was probably lower then. But measured, the lowest I've ever seen is in the 4.5% range. That I have proof of is 5.5%, but those scales are not perfect, obviously. So you can go look at the physique shoot if you want. I win. That's what I do. I do winning. Winning's my strong suit. All right. What do you want me to say to you? I don't do bodybuilding. Bodybuilding is not my gig. Strength is more important to me. That's going to be ultimately it. All jokes aside, strength is what I go for. So. Strength is more important. Strength is more important. 99% of the time. They're powerlifting. Used for powerlifting. Yeah, we'll wait for your stuff, Rob. We'll wait for your stuff. You post up your physique and your bench press PRs, and we'll go back and forth with analytics. I'm okay with that. Why not? Anything. Anything. All right. We've got some. Let's do some squats. You guys want to do some squats? I maintain once I'm close to weight for my weight class. I maintain. So. I don't know what to tell you, Rob. I don't know what to tell you. I'm not wearing shorts actually, running man. This is a powerlifting singlet. Welcome to the stream though. Yeah, we won't see a video from them. I know how it goes. We call them out, they make claims, and they disappear. And they disappear. That's how it always goes. Yeah, there we go. What is he doing now? I'm gonna get rid of this guy. Hold on. Boom. I'm cleaning up the chat right now, don't worry. He's gone, he's gone. All right, easy peasy. It takes me time to get to the screen. You gotta give me time. All right. Kick off at 135, get warm. What's Rob saying now? Is he still talking? .45 natty, skyrocketed test levels, and benches 405, no proof, and 3% body fat, I guess. Boom. I'm gonna go ahead and put him on a timeout though. He's talking a little too much. Enjoy the timeout corner, Rob. All right. I'm not promoting any mods at the moment. I'm not going to be promoting any mods for a while. Just heads up for everybody. Nothing wrong with anybody that wants to be one. It's just not on the cards at the moment. Not on the cards at the moment. All right, 225 for the next one. Yeah. He benches 405. He's Mr. Olympia level cut. He doesn't have any social media. 45, but he has unnaturally high levels of test. What was he trying to prove? Even if all those things are true, which I give people benefit of the doubt. Even if all those things are true, he probably wouldn't need to be in my stream claiming them. He wouldn't have the need to do that. You can get that low, huh? You can definitely get that low. You're not going to feel very good. You're going to feel very depleted most of the time. I don't think Rich has been in the stream tonight, has he? He's been missing from the stream tonight. Yeah, Martin, I'm just not looking for mods at the moment. It's one of those things that it's going to be a slow thing. I don't really need additional mods at the moment. It's not something to like, I don't want it to become something that like people, ask for. It's just something that once I need one, I'll promote one, You just gave David like the best information possible. And there's nothing against anybody that wants it in particular. It's just I'm very, very like conservative on that, Yeah. Tonight, just a few tonight. Overall, 100 plus. To be fair, a lot of those are duplicate accounts. People make extra accounts to come back, but not typically, Eric, no. Have I seen the new Jurassic Park movie? No. Yeah, if you guys think about it, our gulag is like the strongest place on the planet on average, right? Our band list is like walking into the nationals at a powerlifting meet. Like everybody's got a 405 overhead press there. It's absolutely insane how strong our band list is, I haven't seen the first. No, I've seen the first. I've seen the first Jurassic Park. I've seen Jurassic Park. I'm gonna grab this one. Quick single. Oh, he's back. He waited the band out. Look at that. You would be correct in most times when it's coming to me and seeing movies and not having done so. You would be correct 99% of the time. But Jurassic Park is one of the ones I have seen. I'm just gonna remove him for good. I didn't expect him to come back, I'm gonna be honest. I don't feel like dealing with him tonight. I'm gonna be honest. All right. All right. Tree bidding real quick. This is our 6th squat session of the week, so we're gonna see how this moves. We did 335 pretty smooth and pretty good depth the other day. I was comfortable with that, so. Yeah. Hey, what's up? What's up? How's it going, Sandy? All right, I think that's it for the squat for the night. I'm not going to do a drop set. I'm going to let everything recover over the weekend. We did a lot of drop sets this week on squat. I did a lot of squats this week, and last week and the week before. Remember when I said I was going to squat 6 days a week? The most I've hit is 385. That's my current PR technically. I would have to go back and look at the depth, whether or not it's probably not at depth for competition, but that's the most I put on the squat bar. I have felt 405 on the squat. It didn't feel amazing. It moved in one direction and almost in two directions, but it moved in one direction for sure. The second direction, it didn't move quite as much. A little bit. I'm really good at 405 squat down. It's the up part that gets you, and we're working on that. It will happen. I usually don't even think about my opening lifts. Hey, Chase, what's up? How's it been, boss? How's it been, boss? Appreciate the support. That's a whole Fairlife right there. My opening lifts, right? I typically think about my opening lifts the day of. Mostly because you're not gonna know how you feel till you walk in. You gotta kind of, and I'll have like a general consensus in my brain of what I want. Like most likely I'll open. Yep, Martin, have a good one. Nice, Chase. Pool's always a good time. But so generally my squat, I open at, probably gonna open around like mid twos. I don't know. I usually open pretty light. I like to open light, get the nerves off and get everything moving. And then make big jumps. I like to make big jumps in competition. A lot of people don't like to make big jumps. I find it better for me. So I probably open the mid twos, and then that's unfortunate. I didn't say anything. I don't think I said anything wrong. I don't think he's pissed. He might be. Hopefully not. But yeah, so bench, I like to open up light too, guys. That's the thing. What's up, Eric? How's it going? I didn't, what did I do? Comps are in kilos, but I'm talking in pounds. I'm talking in freedom units. Bench, I usually open up light, and then deadlift, I open up a little bit heavier because, it's such big jumps otherwise. So my last comp, I think I opened up at like a 275 bench, something along those lines. I can't remember exactly. With my final attempt being, I think 340, 345, somewhere in there. And then my deadlift, I think I opened at 405 or something like that. And then my squat, I didn't squat the last one. The last time I squatted, because I was push-pull that last comp. The one before that, I opened super light on the squat. I can't remember what it was, but it was super light. This time around, I'll probably open at least like, honestly, I've been playing around with the idea of just to make sure that no one knows what to grab after me to take first place, that I open everything at 225 just for the giggles, right? So open all three of my lifts at 225 and then make a huge jump on all three lifts, throw everybody off. It's definitely bouncing around in my head as an option, because it doesn't sound unreasonable to do, right? The deadlift sounds a little weird, sounds a little weird to people probably. They're like, why does he open up with a 225 deadlift? Like, that's really light. Or 225 squat, why that's really light? But the bench shouldn't throw them off too much. So I'm thinking open up all 3 of those numbers, let everybody else set their first run, right? Or their second run based on that. And then I go from a 225 and jump like my bench to like a 315 for the second press. And then jump my deadlift to like a 425. I feel like it'll get in their noggin a little bit, you know? Set up for success. It is a little bit, Eric. It is a little bit. But it's not like they're going to see. Yeah, I do raw lifts, yeah. But it's not like they're not going to see my second lift, right? They're just going to have to make a bigger adjustment, right? So for most people, it's not comfortable making those big jumps. So for me to make those big jumps, it's not a big deal. So it forces them to make bigger jumps. But here's the thing. In my opinion, if you're following someone else's lifts, unless you are super close on like a third attempt, if you're following off someone's second lift, what to attempt, and not what they put up as their third lift attempt, then you're doing something incorrect. Like you should be trying to push your maximal weight at, especially local meets. Anything below state level meets, or really even state level meets, you should just be going for your maximal effort. Like why are yeah, it's fun to compete and win, don't get me wrong, but if you're just trying to eke out a win in local meets, you're doing something wrong. You should be trying to best yourself, honestly. So if you're like, oh, I'm only going to put 10 more pounds than that guy, you're cheating yourself and your own numbers. Like, so it's not really a dirty move because they shouldn't be basing their lifts on my lifts. They should be basing their lifts on what they can lift. What they can lift is what they should be deciding. So. Oh, look, Rob Noxious came back. He was so upset that I banned him that he decided to come back either on a new account or to evade the ban. He's very upset that I banned him. It's crazy bird, crazy bird. Are you guys seeing these messages? Look how angry this guy is. He resubscribed just to come in here and do that. I've been batting around the idea of doing a strongman comp for the giggles, honestly. I think it'd be fun to do a strongman comp just for the giggles. Because obviously there's some lifts that I'm not super familiar with, and it's going to take some adjustment. But ultimately, I mean, it's all, I'm going to have some advantages walking into the first one, right? Hold on, I'm going to put Rob back in the gulag real quick. I'm going to put him in the timeout corner. All right, Rob, you're back in the timeout corner. Just 10 seconds. I want you to count to 10, deep breaths, come back, be nicer. All right, so yeah, I'm not sure he's ever squatted before. I have pretty strong grip strength. We had one of those grip strength testers at one point. I think I still have it. I have really strong grip. We just finished lifting, Eric. We just finished lifting. Right now, we're just we're fielding comments from the gulags, it seems. Yeah, Rob was very angry, it seems. I did put him on a 10-second timeout. He did not come back after the 10-second timeout. He might have thought he got banned longer. Tomorrow's off day. We will stream though. I'll be streaming tomorrow. So yeah, I will do one at some point. I'm sure I'll do a strongman at some point just to do one because I just want to see how it goes. Just want to see how it goes. I have a feeling I'll perform well. Weightlifting, Mark. This is what you wear to competition. Rob's still here. Rob, I put you in the timeout corner for a reason. I put you in the timeout corner for a reason, and you came back angrier. All right. I want you to think about what you're doing right now because it's rough. It's rough. I think that's probably what we're doing tomorrow. I did ban him, actually, Alex. I did ban him permanently. He ban evaded. So he ban evaded. I don't take 2 days off before meet. Depending on when the meet lands, which is usually a Saturday, I usually just work out a little lighter the day before. Yeah, so all of my meets are weight classed. But we will bulk again after the 16th. You can. You're closer to the ground, David, right? Well, you're only an inch shorter than me. So you have a better advantage on getting things up to your shoulders, you know? I'm glad I can motivate. These are questions, aren't they, Coco? These are the real questions. I think Rob left. Did Rob leave? He had to have left. I gave him another timeout, but I didn't even give him a timeout this time. He should still be here. I think he finally got the hint that no one wanted him here. He's being rude. That definitely is not a selfie. It was stolen from a stream. I would say stolen's the operative word here. I want to know what portion of my stream you managed to snatch that from. I would say squat is my worst lift in my personal opinion. I can squat relatively heavy, but squat is definitely my least of my lifts as far as my aptitude on it, you know. So I don't have a bad squat. I'm just not as good as this. That's good. Seeing growth is top tier. Seeing growth is top tier. Seeing growth is top tier. So just so you guys know, Rob is still here. You can't see his messages, but I can. He has now called me Ed Sheeran. He's called me Ed Sheeran. That was his last, one of his last comments. You guys can't see his comments, but I can. It's crazy. It's crazy. No, Rob, actually they can't. They could see that one in particular, but they couldn't see the last two. I have auto moderation on, Rob. So it doesn't matter. It's auto moderated, Rob. I know you made 2 accounts just because you were that upset, but that's weird work as well, Rob, to be honest. That's odd work. My bad, boss. That's really weird work. You have 50. You're 45 years old and you have 50 accounts. I have an odd feeling, Rob, that you should reconsider some things if you have 50 accounts for trolling at 45 years old. That's rough. And we can ban all 50. We have done it in the past. No, vegan. We will be doing that at some point this week coming up. I'm just enjoying life, Rob. I'm going to go ahead and ban Rob again, guys. Hold on. Boom, just like that. Rob's gone. It's crazy how it works. It's crazy how it works. Crazy how it works. I will throw some chest flies in just for the giggles tonight. We haven't done chest flies in a while. Who's Rob? Yeah, he said he's going to report my account with all 50 accounts. I mean, he can do him. It's not going to do him any good. That's not quite how the report system works. So, if that was the case, if that's all it took to get someone in trouble on YouTube was someone spam reporting from multiple accounts, do you know how many of the biggest YouTubers would just be taken down on a daily basis by angry fans? You imagine how many people report like PewDiePie's channel on a daily basis? Like, if he thinks that's going to be an issue, my channel is very much within the guidelines. Box squats are top tier. I do like box squats. I do like box squats. I use the belt for squatting and deadlift typically, but it just depends. It just depends. It's usually used for my squats and my deadlifts. All right, we have a full brick here, guys. We're gonna hit this for sets of 7, 3 sets. So. All right, another set of 7. We're gonna burn out these 3 sets, and that'll be the end of the stream, guys. Let's get it. Yeah. Yeah. Oh. How's it going yet? How's it going? All right. Welcome to the stream. All right, one more set here. Yeah. Woo-wee! No, we're doing all right, Mason. We're doing all right. Let me grab my laptop, guys, and then we'll chit chat for a minute. There, let me scooch y'all in. That's a lot of blocked messages I just received. That's a lot of blocked messages I just received. Mason doesn't mean anything by it. Rob Noxious is back with another account, by the way, guys. Crazy work, 45 years old. Yeah, you guys don't see the messages yet. Rob is being rude, and YouTube doesn't like that, so. Look how quick he can get put on the timeout list again. Just like that, Rob. I don't tan, Mark. We've discussed this. We've discussed I don't tan. He does it every time. Yeah, 4th of July weekend's going well. I hope yours as well. No, we're just wearing the singlet. No meat today. Alrighty. I'm getting my chat pulled up here, guys, so I can chat a little bit more efficiently. No, Mason, not my gig. I like milk. Top tier beverage, the beverage. Yeah, I don't eat McDoubles. You are correct. Yeah, we don't do cardio here. All I do is lift heavy objects. All I do is lift heavy objects. Lord. I'm sure Rob will be back momentarily. Give him time. Give him time. I'll take your word for it, Mark. Mark, you sent a video of it. You sent a video of it. I'll feature it on the channel. I don't track my calories. No, not traditionally. I know approximately what I take in every day, but I don't track my calories. Just the usual warm up. That's it. I don't really have a favorite meal that I can think of. Chicken. I like chicken Alfredo. Chicken Alfredo is delicious. It's all the same after the 4th. Until you hit the 5th plate, does it matter? You know. Ugh. It's crazy work. We do have a Discord. Someone else was asking about it earlier. I'll post it here in a second. Oh, Rob is back. Look how angry he is. And he's banned again. It's crazy. It's almost like it only takes 2 clicks. It's like it only takes 2 clicks. Here, I'll post the link for everybody. Give me a second. 2 people asked about it today. One person was asking about the, that is the Discord link. If anybody wants to join the Discord and have a good time, it's the best way to do it. Yeah, Rob's got like 4 accounts in the gulags now. 4 or 5. He says he has 50, so it should give me plenty to do tonight. Rob is the center of attention. Only when he's here. He's been banned a few times now, so. It didn't end up as a link. Here, I'll post it to the community pet tab for people. I don't know why it doesn't post it as a link. What's up, rich guy? All right, I just posted the to the community tab. I posted periodically, Mark, and I posted it that same day, actually. You just didn't see it. I have like 90 posts for the Discord in here. You just ignored it, Mark. You ignored it. And I feel some type of way about it, actually, now that you're talking about it. And in return, since you did that and skipped it, you have to record the 455 bench and post it in the Discord. Oh, look, Rob's back, and now he's, not only being rude to me, just everybody. You can really tell what kind of person Rob is, right? It's Rich's fault? Are we blaming Rich Guy for something? What are we blaming Rich Guy for? Would I consider becoming world leader? I'm too busy on the bench press right now, Mason. I'll let you know. I've got a lot going on. All right. No, it was definitely you, Rich. It was definitely you. I don't have them with me, Eric. I don't typically bring them to the gym. But I have considered at one point bringing the tortoise with me. But I'll grab a hold of that here in a second, Michael. I didn't see it yet, or I didn't get the chance to, at least. Let's see. Boom. Woo-wee! I see that. I do accept some friend requests, Mark. We'll talk about it. He claims to be Nick. So I'll say the most interesting pet. I didn't personally have this pet, but I have encountered multiple people with said pet, and it's an interesting pet to encounter. The baby monkeys, like little bitty monkeys. I know a few people that have the monkeys. So. My mother has sugar gliders. Top tier pet. A lot of people out here have pet monkeys, believe it. I wouldn't say a lot. There's more than you would expect. I've met at least 3 people with pet monkeys. Let's see. So they usually have like little monkey backpacks, right? They have like a little screen in them that they can see out, right? They have a little screen or a window that the monkeys can look out of the backpack, and they just wear like a little backpack with a monkey in it. We had someone come in and join the gym at one point that I was when I was managing one of the Move Fitnesses, and she had a monkey, and she would bring it with her, and she would just like leave it in the office with us while she worked out. So we got to hang out with the monkey. Low and heavy for me. I like low rep, high weight. I don't need extra help, Nick. I'm good. 1v1 gorilla any day of the week. 1v1 a gorilla any day of the week. Steak and potatoes, top tier, Alex. Top tier. It's good stuff. Hey, someone joined the Discord. What's up? I have multiple tattoos. That one's a dragon on my arm, though. Oh, and he's back and he's gone. He's back and he's gone. Look at that. That was so quick. pH. That's a weird gripe. We just don't train. Yeah, exactly. That's what I was about to say. We just don't train specifically for that necessarily all the time. But I have a physique shoot on my channel. It's in my shorts. If you want to see what I look like as a natural power lifter under proper lighting and not this super intense stuff in very binding clothes, then you can go to that physique shoot. That's what I look like as a natural power lifter, and that was shot about 3 days ago. So, but you can see it in my shorts. That is the physique shoot. I did a physique shoot 3 days ago. It's in my YouTube shorts. And it really just depends on what you care about. Like, here's the thing. I feel like bodybuilding it's not a bad sport at all, but it is purely aesthetic, obviously, right? You get stronger, obviously, being a bodybuilder. All right, rich guy, we're not going to spam the Discord with pictures. That picture has been reposted like 11 times. Lordy Lord. The Discord is great. I rarely do cardio. You are correct. But yeah, so it's not, so you have, bodybuilders obviously get stronger. But it's two different goals. Like I obviously, you can check whatever the physique, you can decide what you decide based on that video. But as far as strength, I value strength more than I value, physique, right? The reason for that is because I find strength to be a more valuable thing. It's just more valuable in my life. So for some people, that's not the case. For some people, that's not the case. Yes, I'm married. I have 3 children. And if you're bodybuilding to get married, you're probably barking up the wrong tree for the most part. So what do you mean? There it is. Just go check out the physique shoot. That's the best way. That's the best way to figure it out, honestly. You can power lift and do powerlifting workouts and be aesthetically pleasing. Those two things are not by themselves. The aesthetics is almost purely dietary. If your diet is proper, you don't have to worry about as much about the high rep work, right? So most people I can overhead press pretty efficiently. It does. If you're you can be dietarily sound as a powerlifter, PH. I have a double body weight bench currently, and my body fat is between 8 and 10% currently, somewhere in that ballpark. Can't tell in this, obviously, and if I take this off, we can't take the singlet off. There's not much going on underneath the singlet as far as like other clothing, so I can't show aesthetic tonight, unfortunately. But you can check out that video. That's the best way to do it. So powerlifting builds muscle. Diet is what gives you that aesthetic physique. Now, if you are bodybuilding on a high level, yes, you need to change up your workouts and, do things a little bit differently. But with that being said, you don't have to. A diet is not 90% of bodybuilding. People with poor diets, aren't going to be successful at bodybuilding, obviously, but there's so many different workouts, right? And those people doing different workouts are sometimes very close in physique, like as far as how they look, how large they are, how cut they are, things along those lines, right? Body fat percentages. Why? Because the workouts are important, but the diet is more important when it comes to bodybuilding, because you have to have low body fat percentage. Doesn't matter how much muscle you build, if you have 25 or 30% body fat, you are not winning a bodybuilding contest. I'm always going to preference powerlifting. Ugh. It is not the primary focus. That would be what I would say, PH. Aesthetic is not powerlifting's primary focus. That's powerlifting. Lifting is the primary objective. I can tell you right now, you go and you field a survey of 100 powerlifters today, and you're like, hey, would you rather drop your body fat percentage 1%, or would you rather get an extra 10 pounds on your bench? You're going to get a resounding 10 pounds on the bench. Always have the milk. Always have the milk. Didn't have my Fairlife today, though. I value it less, PH. I value it less. What are you trying? What answer are you looking for, PH? I've given you like the whole answer. I value aesthetic less than I value strength. Strength is more important. Strength is more useful in my world. In most people's world, strength is more useful. There is a few occasions where it's not going to be. Why do I value strength? It's more useful. It's a tool. Strength is important in every aspect of life. That's not quite how it works, PH. Not quite how it works. Being strong and aesthetic does not end at marriage. If you want your marriage not to do well, then you can go ahead and do that. But yeah, exactly, right, David? We have some emojis, Yen. There should be a few. We'll have more soon, actually, believe it or not. But we do have a few already in there. Yeah, those are the emojis. They're also available in the Discord. I'm trying to break down I've broken it down the best way I can, PH. There's not really any other way for me to break down the value to you. We are maintaining at the moment, Chris. We have a competition on August 16th. So Eddie Hall strength-wise is going to obviously it's going to destroy Sam Sulek on the weight side, right? But as far as a aesthetic standpoint, Sam Sulek is obviously bodybuilding-wise doing better than Eddie Hall is going to by a significant margin. They're two different sports, so there's not really a good way to do that. Strength-wise, Eddie Hall is like, top tier in every aspect, even now when he's not actively competing. So. Yeah, maybe I'm just not giving PH the bait that he's looking for. I don't know. Or maybe he's trying to bait me into being upset about us. I'm not sure. I've given him like a legitimate answer a few times now, and he doesn't seem to grab it. So, but that's okay. I mean, I'm going to do what I do. I'm going to keep collecting medals in powerlifting. That's what most people care about, PH. I'm going to be honest. That's what most people care about. I'm gonna be honest with you, PH. I'm gonna be honest with you, PH. Generally, women favor strength more than aesthetic once it comes to the elite levels, right? They want you not to be gross, obviously, but strength is definitely a top tier thing when it comes to attracting a partner. It's more important than you would imagine. More important than you would imagine. So. I am not. I mean that 100%. I appreciate the subscribe. That's 100% legit, Mason. Mason, that is, if I could ever give anybody advice, right? If I could ever give anybody advice, when it comes to, how do I explain it? Strength is always going to be a trait that people look for when it comes to, just anything in general. Strength is a good trait to have. Mark, why'd you change the profile picture all of a sudden, Mark? What happened? What happened? Decent bench and a good bench are two different things, PH. I'm going to throw my milk jug away. Hold on. What's your bench? Okay, here. Let's break this down. What's your bench, PH? Yeah, I've answered a lot of questions for your turn. What's your bench, PH? Give me that information real quick. Oh, milk burp. Sorry. No, it's talking to you, Mark. That's talking to you, Mark. And I understand you hit, what was it, like 175 today? I asked him what his bench was. That's my question at the moment. I don't think we're going to get an answer. My life is very balanced. Like perfectly balanced. Perfectly balanced. You're probably very young, Peach. I'm gonna say that most likely you're very young. It's something you'll have to learn over the years. Maybe vegan. I have a schedule that I plan on trying to adhere to this week. It's just something you have to experience. It's just something you have to experience, PH. I'm sorry. You're not listening for the most part, so I'm not going to go super in depth with you again. The difference between like why I do what I do and why you do what you do. If you want to be a bodybuilder, be a bodybuilder. But here's the best advice I can give you, especially in the strength fitness world, the bodybuilding world. Don't go looking to have other people do what you do, or look for other people to mimic what you're doing and use that as your way to know you're doing something correct, or that's the best way to do it. Do what makes you feel like you're progressing in some kind of meaningful way, and that's all that matters. You're going to be the most happy with that. You're going to have a real hard time in the fitness world if you're constantly looking for validation by having other people adhere or tell you that they want to do what you're doing, right? Because not everybody does the same thing, and not everybody has the same goals or even the same like motivations. So what my motivation might be is different than yours, and what your motivation is different than someone else's. So, but you can do aesthetics and you can do strength, and it's okay. So. It's one of those things that, like, if you constantly look for validation through someone else's fitness routine, you're always going to be changing yours, and you're not going to see meaningful results. I'll take your word for it, Mark. 200-pound dumbbell, you were shoulder pressing it. I've heard you do that on a regular basis, actually. Yeah, I'm not downing powerlifting. It's just that's not what I value. or not downing powerlifting. It's not bodybuilding. It's not what I value. I don't value bodybuilding personally. I don't think that it has no value. It's just my personal goals do not adhere to bodybuilding, like bodybuilding as a sport, right? I'm not looking to do that personally. I see the aesthetic of it. I see why people do it. I understand it, and I think it's an awesome sport, and it has value. But I don't personally find value in it for myself. So. I would say that you're incorrect for the most part, PH. There are a lot of people that use fitness as a validation tool, but people that are serious about fitness generally aren't using it to validate through other people. They're using it to, hit some kind of goal that they set for themselves, probably in the past. Is validation nice? Sure. Everybody likes it. No one can say that validation doesn't exist and it doesn't feel good. But here is the kicker, right? As a professional fitness coach, because I've been doing this for a good little while, I've trained a lot of people. Most people have goals set in their head, and as they achieve them, they set new goals based on their own personal wants and needs, right? There are people that are like, I want to look like this for other people. There are definitely people out there that are doing that, but it is not the majority. PH, if that's your goal, I'm going to tell you that bodybuilding isn't going to help you get there either. There's a lot more involved. There's a lot more involved. I do think PH is very young. So I'm doing my best to help you, PH, but there's not a lot more I can give you information-wise on that. Yeah, a lot of people are doing it for mental health. Most people's, I would say 70% of people, the gym is directly attached to their mental health. Directly attached. PH, like I've said, if you're interested in what the physique is, I have a physique shoot, but I don't know what else to tell you from this point. You can have a good physique and be strong. It's perfectly possible naturally. Yeah, I mean that his goals are going to be more centric to that for sure. I would say that strength isn't a vain pursuit. Mental health isn't a vain pursuit. Aesthetic also not necessarily 100% vain. You can want to be aesthetically pleasing and not be 100% just vain. There is real life. There's reasons to have that in real life scenarios. There is actual benefits in life to it. Most people that are working out just want to be fit. I'm not lost in any rabbit hole. I do this professionally, PH. I'm a professional strength coach. I've trained bodybuilders. I've trained power lifters. I've trained people that just want to lose a couple pounds. I've trained people that want to gain a couple pounds. I've gone across the gambit with it. I can tell you right now that my original reason for working out was not vain. I can tell you it wasn't for vanity purposes or anything like that. That was definitely something I wanted to have. But that wasn't the primary focus when I first started working out. The primary focus when I first started working out was not feeling like crap because I had just had surgery. I was 117 pounds at 5'11", 25 years old. I felt like crap and I needed to be healthier. That was my original motivation. And then I built discipline and decided I wanted to go further with it later on. So not everything people do in the fitness world is vain and vanity. It can become that, but it usually takes some work to get to that point first. You kind of have to get the aesthetic before it morphs into that. Can I train you all to get along? Probably not my strong suit. Mark is looking for the validation at the moment, I can see. Look, as long as you get on TV, right, Cowboy? I'm just kidding. Yeah, I would say it's not an intimidation factor. Like, is that something that might factor into your life at some point? Sure. But I'm going to tell you, I've lived 30 years, almost 31 years on this planet. And while there has been points in my life where that was a factor, I worked in a prison at one point. I was a prison guard. Even in the prison, it wasn't as big a factor as you would imagine. Like if you're walking around your entire life with the assumption that you need to be as intimidating as possible in every building and every situation, you're going to fail at a lot of things. Because sometimes you don't necessarily need to give off that vibe, right? It's good to look strong. It's good to not look weak. And it's good for people to know you're strong. But if you're just walking around trying to intimidate everybody on a constant basis, no one's going to want to be around you. That's a terrible way to live. Terrible way to live. The biggest guys I know, the strongest people I know, and I know a lot of them, right? The biggest bodybuilders, strongest powerlifters I know are all super nice. Super nice. They'll have conversation with you. They'll chit chat. They'll talk to anybody. And their goal is not to be, to intimidate everybody they walk up to. So yeah, it's one of those things. The biggest lifters, the biggest bodybuilders, things like that, they're almost always super humble. No, Mason, a lot of things matter in life. A lot of things matter in life. And if we are just a rock full of like squishy, peoples, right? It matters even more because that's all there is. So this is all that matters then. You understand what I'm saying? So if it doesn't, it matters because other things are out there and it matters on a grand scale. And if we're the only thing, then it matters because we're the only thing there is. Does that make sense? It always matters, regardless of the route. I am natural, Stephen. If you want to do them, that's fine. I preference the natural powerlifting, natural physique building, things like that. I just like being natural. It feels better. I'm healthy and I'm strong. And I think everything you can achieve on can be achieved off. It's just a matter of time and effort. This is a powerlifting singlet. It does have shorts, like it's built in. It's a singlet. It's a powerlifting singlet. I assure you, I am clothed. The laptop does give that impression. I understand that. Yeah, I would say that one of the reasons why I would say that right now in all of the social media realm, you tend to find so many people that focus on the aesthetic that you think that's the primary goal for most people, but a lot of them are just trying to, show their hard work for the most part. Yeah, I'm completely natural, Alex. Completely natural. All right, did I de-rack everything? I think everything's de-racked. But I've got to close up the stream here very soon. Hold on. We're gonna go clean up a little bit. I gotta grab my cords and stuff. Dream vacation? I don't really have a dream vacation. I'm gonna be honest. I don't vacation very often. place where there's a lot of gyms. A place where there's a lot of gyms would probably be ideal for me. If there's a lot of gyms nearby, that's where I would go. I like experiencing other gym environments. It's a lot of fun seeing what other people work with. It's a lot of fun going to other gyms. Is there anything else I'm forgetting? That would be a fun time. I want to go to the gym. Honestly, guys, the last time I went on vacation, I worked out. Like, I work out on vacation. That's what I do on vacation. I work out on vacation. That's my primary. That's what I enjoy doing on vacation. I know that might not sound like a vacation to everybody, but it sounds like a vacation to me. Ugh. Sounds like a vacation to me. You know what I'm saying? Just go to the park. What am I gonna do? I guess I could do some like calisthenics, right? You didn't really hit any nerves, PH. It was a lot of effort to re-explain the same thing like 7 times. A lot of effort. A lot of effort. But it is that time of day, guys, for me to head out. So it is time for me to head out, guys. So I'm gonna go get some rest. And then I'll see you guys tomorrow. We're gonna do like a general stream tomorrow. I don't know exactly what it's gonna be yet, but obviously we rest on Sundays. So we rest on Sundays. Cryotherapy. I've never done cryotherapy. I had access to one of the cryo chambers to try out at one point and never tried it. I should have. I heard it was awesome. But I used to have access to a cryo chamber. I don't anymore. I'd probably still get in there. But when I was managing one of the gyms, they had a business that had cryo chambers. Like the ones you stand in, I guess. I never even saw it. I didn't go in there. But all right, you guys have a good one. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Probably earlier in the day. I would say probably earlier in the day. No, milk is always top tier. All right, I'll see you guys tomorrow. I just posted the Discord link in the community tab of my channel. So if you guys want to join the Discord, we hang out there after the streams and in between streams. A lot of fun. All right. God bless.